Iran has destabilized the region.
Iran has already cheated.
Iran is the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism.
Why are they building long-range missiles if they have no interest in a nuclear weapon?
The Iran nuclear deal continues to be a hot-button topic on Capitol Hill. Some asking, is the GOP conceding defeat? Meanwhile, a group of retired generals and admirals continue to urge Congress to reject that deal. They say such a partnership threatens our national security. And joining us now to go more in depth is the former mayor of Shiloh, Israel, David Rubin. Thanks so much for joining us here on Newsmax Now.
Thank you, Miranda.
Politico says the White House is pushing for a filibuster on that deal. They write specifically a Democratic filibuster in the Senate would be a clear victory for the president, allowing Obama to say that for all the political noise, there wasn't simply enough actual opposition to the nuclear agreement with the Islamic Republic to even get to a final vote. If the president were to get a filibuster, would it be a victory for anyone other than, let's say, the Obama administration?
Well, the situation right now is that the Obama administration is pushing very, very hard, and I don't hear much opposition from the rest of the Democratic Party. It's very disappointing that so far we've heard only 2 congressmen that are strongly opposing the deal in terms of announcing their own opposition. But they're not going and trying to get the other members of their party to oppose it. This is a very, very serious issue for the Democratic Party as a whole.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, a letter from retired general to Congress urging against the deal. We also have a competing messages that are going on right now from 70 Middle East and foreign affairs scholars, including leftists like Noam Chomsky, saying the deal is not only good, but that it will stabilize the Middle East. How can so many prominent thinkers have such a starkly contrasting point of view on this deal?
Well, first of all, to quote someone like Noam Chomsky as being a prominent thinker, Noam Chomsky is extremely anti-Semitic and anti-Israel, certainly. This is someone who, if you have any position on Israel, he's going to take the opposite position if you're pro-Israel. There are many people on the left that have spoken about this deal in favor of the deal, and in fact, most of the people on the left are speaking in favor of the deal, and it's incredibly shocking because if you look in Israel, and this is the pro-Israel, what I call the pro-Israel litmus test. If you look in Israel, all across the political spectrum, from the far right to the far left, everyone is against this nuclear deal with Iran. And so anyone who says that they are in favor of this nuclear deal with Iran is not pro-Israel. And I don't care whether they have a name like Noam Chomsky, which sounds very a very Jewish name. It has nothing to do with that. They are anti-Israel. Anyone who is in favor of this nuclear deal is anti-Israel because the Iranians are sworn to Israel's destruction, and they promise that they will destroy Israel once they get that nuclear bomb in their hands. I don't think it can be ignored.
We had Thomas Sanderson on the program the other day, and he's a director of the CSIS Transnational Threats Program. And this is what he had to say about the Iran nuclear deal's potential to pave the way for a more weaponized Hezbollah. Take a listen.
I don't think this is going to create a wholesale vectoring of Hezbollah forces against Israel. Yes, they did engage them in a battle several years ago, and they fought them quite successfully in many areas. But I don't think this is going to be a fundamental turnaround for the fortunes of Hezbollah. It will in marginal ways here and there, but again, this is speculation. We just don't know what's going to happen as this plays out.
Do you agree with that? We just don't know what's going to happen?
Well, we don't know for sure what's going to happen, but the fact is that there are 100,000 missiles being pointed at Israel from the Hezbollah terrorist organization in Lebanon. They are being heavily supported by the Iranians. The Iranians, once this deal is approved, they will, in fact, already, billions of dollars are already flowing towards the Iranians. They're going to have billions of additional dollars with which to supply the terrorist organizations, the Hamas, the Hezbollah, and those funds will be used to attack Israel. I don't have any doubt about that. And it's very easy for somebody in Virginia to make such statements, but the fact is that he doesn't have to have his children protected. You know, I have a son who was wounded in a terrorist attack when he was 3 years old. I was wounded in a terrorist attack. I know thousands of other people who were wounded. I don't think we can play games here, but I live in Israel, so I don't have the luxury of making ridiculous statements.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. David Rubin, thank you so much for your time. Former mayor of Shiloh. Nice of you to join us here on Newsmax Now.